Hey everybody, welcome. Richter Knives here, episode number 17. Tonight, we're bringing the smoke. It's GEC tonight. I'm going to show you my collection. I don't have very many. I pretty much have exactly what you see right here. And hopefully I have more in the future. But I'm going to show you what I got. And we're going to go from left to right. And I have sorted them left to right by how long that I've had them, from oldest to newest. Now, before I get started, if you've seen my Instagram, then you've seen a lot of GEC knives. And what I've done over the years is I haven't been able to afford a lot of GECs. So there's always been 3 or 4 I hung on to, and then 1 or 2 that I just kept rotating to find that one that would stick. And then here lately, I got like 3 new ones. And so let me show you what I got. This was my oldest GEC, not my first. My first was a 56 yellow mustard Cheekbone. This right here, I got about a little after the same time in 2018. And I got it in a trade. And if you've seen the video on this, you know that I didn't like this thing at first until I dropped it. When I dropped it, it got dings in it right here. It also got dings in the micarta, and it fell on white rock. And so what I had to end up doing is, it looks real bad too. What I had to end up doing was sanding it down to get past the dents in the white rock. So it was, I guess, pretty shiny like that, but it's got more shine over the years on the ends. But here's your centering, just like GEC always does. It looks really good. So this is a pull too. You hear that snap? Also, when I first got this thing, one of the reasons I didn't like it was because it had blade wrap right here. And you could tell that if you have a bullnozer and you've seen a bunch of them, you could tell that I'm missing quite a bit right there in the belly. That's where it kept on wrapping. But it got sharpened out, and I've used this a lot, so it's sharpened out over the years. Here's your back spring. But I've never seen character on a pocket knife quite like this. I don't know if you see that patina right there on the back screen. It's pretty good right there. And then the blade. Now this is a good blade for EDC. You've got a lot of belly right here, and you could just do a lot of good cutting with it. And it's got a good straight right here too. You can do some rope pulls or whatever you want. Also, it's got a thick handle. And normally I don't like thick handles unless I'm doing real good work. So I know I'm going to do a good day's work. I usually grab this bad boy because you could tell right here that you've got a good grip. It's a good forefinger. From the back, you can see how much is left. So if I was a 6-finger dude, I could get a whole nother finger in there. But anyways, there's my 71. Love it. Love it. All right, what's next? My baby. 78. This is an American Jack, I believe. And it's a Northfield unexcelled golden brown Cheekbone. And 1095 carbon, as you can tell. You see the patina on that blade. And honestly, I think that's the best patina I have on any knife blade. Don't ask me how I did it. I just use it. A lot of people are asking me. Excuse me. Allergies. A lot of people are asking me, how do you get your patina so good? Yeah, I just use it and I wipe it off. Sometimes it comes out good, sometimes it doesn't. I've had bad patinas before where I had to, polish off the whole blade and start over. And I've done that to this one as well. But, the more you use it, I think the better it looks. I think that's the key. Just use it, wipe it off, keep it clean, keep it old, and it'll look good. The snap on this one, the half stop, it's perfect. It's textbook. That's about a 6.5 pull. Snappy. Walk and talk is perfect. And it just doing hits that thing. That half stop, and it is just perfect walk and talk. Perfect walk and talk. And I want you to look at the jig bone on this. And I wish I had better lighting. I'm going to get better lighting, y'all. This is terrible. If I'm going to do a YouTube channel, I'm going to have to do it right. Let's see. Look at that. It is just gorgeous. The other side of this is darker. That just adds to the character to me. Love it. You got fluted bolsters. And I love this unexcelled... I'm talking... unexcelled shield. That's probably my favorite shield that GEC makes. Spear point. 78. Almost a perfect pattern in my eyes. Next. My Viper. I can't tell you how much I love this Viper. I watched a video years ago, and Randy Johnson had a Viper. And first he was looking at them on Instagram, and then a couple of shows later he had one, and he done a review on it, and he still has it, and it had Bacote wood. I fell in love. He done a video on that thing, and I straight fell in love. This was the knife that made GEC for me, because as soon as I seen this knife, I had to have a GEC, and I had to have this GEC. And believe it or not, I didn't buy this GEC. A lot of these GECs you see right here, I didn't even buy with money. I didn't have the money, so what I did is I had some case knives, and I made leather, and I sharpened knives. So I would trade leather and knives, and I think I did a trade on a Viper that was like a 5-knife trade for the one knife and some leather work. So it was a big trade for me. And the guy wanted this stuff. And I was like, I didn't want to offend him, but he was asking what I had to trade. And I said, look, I don't have another GC. I said, no, I'm wrong. I did have a GC. I traded a GC and some case knives for it. Finally, he traded. And I ended up trading that one for a wood one because it reminded me of, it was an East Indian rosewood. It reminded me of the one that Randy Johnson had. And then I obtained this one too, and I had the both. But this one I gravitated more towards, not for looks, because I think the other one looked better. But this one just feels tougher to me. It feels less fragile. And I don't mind using it. But look at the blade. It's like a laser. And just the curves on this thing. Wow. Brass liners. The lanyard loop. And of course I like lanyards. On some knives anyway. Look at that. Beautiful. And the shield doesn't bother me. I could go without the shield, but it's okay. But I like that burlap micarta too. It looks deep. And I had it polished, but it kind of wore off. Anyways, there's my Viper. And the walk and talk on that one, let's say. That's about a 6 pull. Sounds great. Great snap. This one is not too popular, as far as I know. I'm on some GEC groups and on Facebook, and you see these up for sale all the time in trade. And I think what's going on is they bought them when they first came out, and then they're like, ooh, cheesy, don't want it. But when I seen this, I'm like, I'm getting one. I got to have that. If you know me, you know I'm a patriot. I love the United States of America. I love everything our country stands for. and that flag. And this acrylic to me is, I don't like acrylic. I don't even want to own an acrylic knife. It's this flag right here that gets it for me. I'm going to keep this one. I love this one. And here on the other side, it says "We the People." Man, gives me goosebumps. Love this knife. And I decided I'm not going to let it sit around and collect dust and sit in a drawer, so I use it. And actually, once I started using it, it's a handy booger. It is handy. I've almost got the edge worn off, but it says Liberty right there. I don't know if you can see it. And then on the other side, it says, "Come and take it," and it has the Gadsden flag snake on there. It's hard to see, but it has some patina on it, like a light gray, even patina. And this is good to stick in your watch pocket. And it also has great snap. And it's pinchable. That's a good little knife. I think it's between the size of a 14 and a 15. But it's a pretty good size. You know. It's not as big as these, but it'll do a day's work for you. Love this knife. Love this. And this is a 94 flag acrylic. Then this one, you've seen this one. Most of these right here are new. I've traded a 74. I traded a couple knives. And then I bought 3 new ones. But this one is my 85 Beaver. And I want you to look at that jigged wood. That's not bone, that's wood. And it is flipping gorgeous. Look at that. This is one of those knives that I searched after for years, and you heard this if you watch my videos as well, but I had a knife just like this. I didn't even get to use it, and the guy missed it and wanted it back, and I was like, all right, you know. So I traded him back. I thought it was only the right thing to do, you know. But ever since then, I wanted one, and I just got one not that long ago, and I've been using it a lot. I love it. The spear point, that fat spear. Gorgeous. This knife is a great size. And it's got this like built-in choil right here. You can just, it's so comfortable in your hand. Man, what a joy to use this thing. And that beaver on there. I guess normally in my mind I would think that was goofy. And I can't believe I have an acrylic knife and I have a beaver. But I love this. It's something about it. I don't know. I can't tell you what it is. I just love it. There was a banana one. I thought that was dumb. There was a couple of them I thought were dumb that GEC does. But this one, as goofy as it is, I'm in love. Love this. This right here is probably the nicest knife that I have. I was looking for this knife and settled for this and actually paid more than I wanted to. This is probably the first GC I bought with money without trading stuff for it. And I spent quite a bit, overpaid a little, maybe overpaid, I don't know. I guess it's worth what I paid for, sure enough. But this is a 72 burnt Stag lockback. And it's a unexcelled Northfield. My goodness gracious. Look at this thing. This is what I hate my lighting. God, look at this. Look at the Stag on there. And there's the evenness of it. It's a little skinny here and a little fat here. But it feels good in hand. And no side to side, no front to back. This one is locked up good. I've heard a lot about GEC's lockbacks, and this one's good. But look how gorgeous that is. And this clip point is, it just looks mean. Look at that. Almost looks like an eye right here, and it's mad. It's going fast. Gorgeous knife. I can't even believe I own this knife. And like I said, I wasn't even looking for something like this. I was looking for something like this. But, and then the next day I found that. That's nuts. But I'm not getting rid of this. This is beautiful. I've never had a Stag knife before. I used to think Uncle Henry was expensive. Look at this. I'm not trying to be braggadocious, but that's one of the prettiest knives I've seen. Love it. And this 72 right here as well. This is this don't have a tube, like you see a tube missing here, but it was used when I got it. I found it, and I don't remember if I done a trade. I think I did a trade for it. I don't remember what I traded. But, dadgum. I looked for this for years. I'm an Instagram guy, and I like knives. So if you're an Instagram person, and you like knives, you see pictures of knives, and you're like, dude, that is sweet. And never think you're going to get one. You got a couple in your mind that you want, that you're not able to obtain. And finally, I was able to obtain this when I seen it. I went after probably, I can't tell you how many of these. I private message or DM a lot of folks and ask them, hey, would you want to trade? And they're like, no, you know, I want to keep this one. And I'm like, oh my God, I'm never going to find one. Finally, found one. And I was, and I just had gotten this one. I'm like, man, this will be my beater. So this is my beater. I'm still going to use that, but I think the more you use it, the better it looks. It's got an even patina on it, and the wood is going to do nothing but look better and better and better after I use this. It fits real good in your hand. There you go. 72 burnt. That's not burnt Stag. I don't know what kind of wood that is. I think it's East Indian rosewood. And then the last one, but not the least, is my 38 Bloodwood. I seen somebody on YouTube review this knife, and I instantly started hitting up folks on a Facebook group page, a GEC page, looking for one of these dudes, and finally got it. And ended up being the Marshallist, I believe. The Marshallist on YouTube. You can look him up. He had this one. He done a review on this exact knife. And I had watched it too. And I'm like, dude, I didn't know it was, you know, this one. But look. I mean, look at the Warncliffe on that. Ridiculous. The wood on that has so much character. And it's just a hue that is gorgeous. It's carbon steel, and you've also got a pen blade that is sharper than the blazes of glory. And you've got it's either a sheep's foot. I think it's a sheep's foot or a coping. Sheep's foot probably. And they've got half stops, pretty snappy. And then this pull on this one is probably an 8. It's snappy too. You could hear it. Listen. Gator trap. Or bear trap. Bam! I mean, just think about cutting boxes with this, dude. And it's got that just natural choil right here as well. Look what you can do with this thing. Ridiculous. Anyways, it's my GEC knives. 2023, and I plan on getting more. I don't know how much this will grow, or if I'll have to sell them all off. Hopefully God don't let me have to sell them off, but I love these things. If I was to choose one knife, and this may be a video in the future, but I don't know if I could pick out of these. But these are definitely my favorite knives. GEC. I love my case. I love old timers. I love Benchmade, Spyderco. I love knives, you know. I'm not really a hater of any kind of knives. But GEC is just up there for me. It's the old world, old school, traditional, you know, feel. And just makes me think back to the old days. And I love these. So I hope y'all enjoyed this. I hope it wasn't too long. We're like 20 minutes in. But, you know, thanks for watching my video. Don't forget to like, subscribe, hit the notification bell, and share my video if you want to. So, thank y'all. GEC Knives, Richter, out.